To this end, the board and management initiated a national competitive tender in May 2017 to select a suitable audit firm to undertake independent review and baseline study of the trust. Waterhouse emerged the winner, and after extensive consultations and reviews, a contract was signed with Waterhouse on 7th August 2017. The document which is being presented this morning is the outcome of that contract. The board and management would like to take this opportunity to express our deep appreciation to Waterhouse for the report. It is the hope and expectation of the trust that the results of this review will provide the basis for the board and management to assess the adequacy and effectiveness of existing processes, systems, and infrastructure in relation to the vision and strategy of the new leadership team. Here I'm talking about the board and the management. Ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, SSNIT is the first-tier administrator of Ghana's Social Security and Pension Scheme, responsible for the pensioner, the victims of occupational incapacity, and their dependents in times of financial need, as prescribed by the nation's pensions laws. Ladies and gentlemen, let me emphasize, with all the authority I can muster, that the current board and management take our responsibilities very seriously. When I'm talking about the pensioner, the worker, and their dependents, we take our responsibilities very seriously, and because of that, we've engaged Waterhouse, and in times past, you might have heard of our involvement with YOCO. The idea is to sanitize SSNIT so there will be greater credibility with the Ghanaian public. SSNIT has been perceived as having improper management practices, imprudent investment, financial irregularities, and other antisocial activities, which collectively acted as a drain on the resources of the trust. This is what people believed. All these negative practices cannot be completely corrected in 1 year. We've tried very hard, but we can't claim to have corrected everything. But a number of positive corrective measures have been introduced to sanitize the practices and procedures that gave the trust such a negative image. We have cooperated with YOCO in the past year and will continue to cooperate with all law enforcement agencies and investigative bodies in the pursuit of their duties. Our doors are open, our books are open. I have nothing to hide, and I'm sure our colleagues have nothing to hide. Even anybody here is an investigative journalist, he can enroll and come and see the work we are doing here, and you see that the proper thing is being done. This engagement with Waterhouse and the report we are receiving this morning is a move in the same direction, an initiative to direct SSNIT along the path of best ethical practices and enhanced financial sustainability. Ladies and gentlemen, many positive achievements have taken place in the trust in the last year. It is the policy of the board and management to work closely with organized labor and contributors to ensure that the Ghanaian worker, and for that matter, the pensioner, gets a decent pension after retirement to enable him or her live with dignity. Sometimes we hear reports about SSNIT not being caring enough and the pensioners being given peanuts. That is not completely true, but perception is very important. And we believe it's the duty of the board and management to make sure the pensioner gets the best deal possible. But having said that, I want to go and record, ladies and gentlemen, to emphasize that whatever is paid as benefits should be such as to not to undermine the financial sustainability of the pension scheme in the medium and long term. In other words, whatever is paid should be such that in 5 years, SSNIT will still be existing. 10 years, SSNIT will still be in existence. So it's coded, but I'm sure you all understand what I want to say. The board and management are making efforts to increase the coverage of the scheme to include the informal sector. Sometimes people ask, what about the market women? What about the fisher folk? What about the cocoa farmer? We have nothing against them. And in fact, it's the intention of the trust to expand coverage so that in the medium term, all of them will become beneficiaries of the trust. But it will take a lot of organization to do that. The need for the trust to cut overhead costs and reduce administrative and personal costs are also being pursued. Again, the perception in the public mind is that we sit here to chop whilst the pensioner suffers. It's not completely correct, but we believe perception is so important, we must do something about it, and I'm giving the assurance that the board and management are working very hard to make sure we cut down overheads so that the pensioner gets maximum benefit for his or her labor. The board and management are taking the necessary actions to ensure that investments of the trust are managed effectively, efficiently, and with high level of integrity. I'm just a chairman. We've got the active members, the DG and his deputies here. They really are going to take care of the performance this morning. These are introductory remarks. Nevertheless, I'm very happy you have attended in such large numbers. I'm happy to see all of you at Pension House this morning, and I hope from time to time we shall get the opportunity of interacting with the press. Thank you for coming, and thank you for your attention. Thank you very much.
All right, this morning the report is to be received from Waterhouse Coopers, but before we do that, we'll take some remarks from the team lead, Mr. Michael Asiedu. So now the team lead for Waterhouse will give us his remarks. Then we'll go on to the presentation of the report. Thank you.
Mike, look, you come. No, you need to speak through the mic.
They can move the mic.
Okay, please.
Oh, he should. Oh, yeah. Okay. So you want to swap?
Coopers team. We'd like to say thank you to the board and management for the opportunity that was accorded us to contribute to this process of ensuring that the trust is able to meet its objective by providing us that opportunity to perform this assignment. As you did say, indeed, in August you awarded us a contract to perform the independent assessment and baseline review of the trust from the 3 years up to December 2016, and then the 3 months up to 31st of March 2017. We commenced the exercise, and as part of the process, did meet various levels of management to obtain information that helps us to establish the current state of the trust. We did compare the current state of the trust with benchmarks that we have developed in the 4 areas of IT review, the human resource review, the financial management review, and then the internal controls assessment. As part of that process, we did identify certain gaps and also identified certain areas where we believe there were strong systems in place. We, in our report, have cataloged the gaps that were identified, recommendations that we believe, if they are considered, will help the trust to become a lot more competitive in its activities. So this morning, Mr. Chair, we are happy to present that report formally to you. It is a bulky report. The report is structured in 5 sessions with some appendices. Together, it's about 340 plus page document. It's a big one. But why we went that route is to provide as much information as we considered relevant, so that it helps with your own review, and then also helps in the next line of action that the board would like to take in terms of implementing systems that can improve the efficient running of the trust. So once again, on behalf of the PwC team, we say thank you very much for the opportunity. And this morning I present to you a copy of the 340-page document.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, I promise to give each of you a copy of the report, but it's so bulky. I would need a wheelbarrow to carry the books, so we are just going to talk, and there will be no presentation of the report to take away. Okay, now.
We'd like to, once you are here, we'd like to have
What? Which mic? Somebody's mic. Is this mine? No.
Chartered Waterhouse Coopers presenting a 340-page document to SSNIT. Well, SSNIT commissioned Waterhouse Coopers to undertake a review of assets and liabilities of the trust as of March 2017. The Waterhouse Coopers were also to undertake a review and baseline assessment of SSNIT's ICT system. Remember that that system that raised a lot of controversies. The exercise also to enable SSNIT know the true state of its investment in the country. Well, they've come to the end of that, and they are presenting their report. Is a 340-page report to SSNIT. People have been given the opportunity to ask questions now, so we join in that press review.
I would have thought that we would have gotten something from the report, so that in asking the question we will know specifically what we are talking about. Because now it appears we don't know what is in the report. Yeah. Apart from the fact that the gentleman from PwC said he identified some gaps in some areas which were strong. So maybe I will ask him if he can tell us about those gaps starting, so that we will have some institution.
So, Michael, I think you should be sitting here.
Yes.
Yes.
Mike, come and sit.
And then
Take a seat. Juliet Kramer, John Hagen Mensah, and Caleb Kweku Afaglo. This document is from Yoko. We are not pushing anything under the carpet. We are working very seriously. If the figures you want, and in due course you have them. So don't think the SSNIT is conniving with anybody. No, Yoko has gone over, and the report we have from Waterhouse is quite similar to the report we had from Yoko. So that side has been taken care of. What Waterhouse is doing is trying to up the game so that management will be better, human resource management will be better, investment management, they are trying to help us manage the place better than before. But so far as criminal activity is concerned, Yoko has already dealt with that. So you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, let me clarify something. That Juliet Kramer
yes.
is not and was not former staff. Yeah.
Is the owner of the company that supplied us with OBS, the IT system everybody's talking about. Is the owner of that company. So sorry, it's not a staff, but the owner of the company that supplies that with the IT equipment.
So Ghanaian workers can be assured that under your chairmanship,
people who will tamper with our money.
Look, let me tell you, Adgofa has been around for a long time. I was responsible for interior. Did you hear anything? I was what do you mean, not yet? Look, my friend. Well, I'm telling you, you won't hear anything. You won't hear anything. Responsible for defense. Did you hear anything? If anything, I went around begging for money to put up a ministry, Kofi Annan and everything. I'm here to serve Ghana. At my age, I don't need anything from SSNIT. So I'll make sure that irregularities don't go on. That's why I keep talking about Yoko. Rest assured. I said if there's any investigative journalist, he can come and we shall give him a room here so that he walks around to see there's nothing going on. We are here to serve the country. We are here to serve organized labor and the pensioner, and that's our main objective. So you have nothing to worry about.
Doc, I just needed
Yes.
I'm Joseph Akabli, I work with Joy FM.
Yes.
Doc, just needed a bit of details in terms of what Yoko found with these 4 individuals you mentioned.
Look, come, Gifty, come.
I think...
Come, Gifty. Look, leave everything to me. Come. Please, read the first and second paragraphs so that they know. I'm not going to hide anything. Look, this is a document from Yoko, and I anticipated this thing will happen. So we shall give you 2 or small brief paragraphs. We are not going to hide anything. Go ahead.
Okay. So
Microphone.
I should come this way.
Yeah.
Yes, go read. You see? I don't want anybody to think we are covering up anything. We have nothing to go ahead. First 2 paragraphs from Yoko.
You need to mention your name first.
Go ahead.
I'm Gifty Annan, Company Secretary. Okay, so it says on February 24th, 2017, Yoko received a complaint from SSNIT alleging that the Social Security and National Insurance Trust entered into a contract with Perfect Business Systems, whose Chief Executive Officer and a director is Mrs. Juliet Hassana Kramer for the procurement of...
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
You want to hear your voice, so speak up.
for the procurement of the operations business suite. The complaint alleged that a total amount of about $70 million was paid to PBS in respect of the OBS project. The original OBS contract sum was $34.0 million, but at the time the project was completed, the contract sum had shot up to $66.8 million and 36 million Ghana cedis. This means that at the end of the OBS project, an additional amount of $32 million and 36 million Ghana cedis was paid to PBS. That's the first 2.
Yes, people are indicted. Go as far as